Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode on Two Puerto Ricans and a Black Girl. Today, buddy, today we are talking about long distance relationships. You know, I'm clutching my pearls. I gotta be up underneath my guy.
You're already giving your opinion without even
already answer the question before it ends.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel. I'm the dope widow.
And I am the love guru.
And I am Mimi, your lifestyler. And Miss Dope Widow, is already answered the question before. So I already know. So we're going to start with you. How do you feel about long distance relationships?
As I mentioned, you guys know I'm like a touchy-feely. I gotta be up underneath my dude. Not 24/7, but I like to be able to come home, or he comes home, we can sit together, watch movies, sleep together. I'm just that type of girl. And so a long distance relationship, like I can't hug you, that just doesn't work for me. You know, the longest I've probably been away, it's been maybe like 2 months, and that was like,
That's
2
funny.
months was a long time, but we definitely talk like every day throughout the day. And you have that cute little sexy talk, and but after there's no way I could survive after 2 months. There's no way. That's me. What about you, love guru?
That's a no. That's a no for me. I don't think I could do long distance relationships. I mean, I know a lot of couples who survived long distance relationships. But for me, I'm gonna have to agree with Gigi on that one. I like to cuddle.
Oh, no, that's not.
I like to cuddle. I like to be underneath my man. I want to be with him every night. And I mean, it doesn't have to be anything about, as far as sexually, but just being in his presence and,
yes, exactly.
and just, having him in my face and me being in his face, us watching a movie or making dinner together or just sitting down to have dinner together. Or, I'm a spontaneous person, so I like to do things off the cuff. So I'm like, oh, let's do this today. And I want him to be present. Like,
right.
And it's so lonely not having your partner with you. And sometimes you do need to sacrifice depending on, what kind of goals you guys have set for yourselves. And maybe his job or your job takes you into another state or into another city. And you guys, for the betterment of your relationship and your future goals, you have to sacrifice for a point in time. But more than maybe 6 months, I don't think I could do it.
6 months?
Yeah, I know you said 2 months and you was already dying, but I could give it maybe 6 months. Let me say this: 6 months with maybe me flying out, him flying out, or him driving in and I'm driving in like every other weekend, or maybe once a month. We can do something spontaneous like that, just to because you have to keep the spark alive. You have to make sure that you're present, he's present, because people get lonely, and then that's when things start to happen, and it also for me comes down to the foundation that you guys have set for yourselves in the beginning of the relationship. That is really important. And if it's a deep foundation, maybe it can survive.
And what are your thoughts?
No, I was agreeing with everything you started saying at the end, Jackie, with those allowances. Like, I think it depends on where you at in the relationship for a long distance. Like,
very true.
If I'm dating someone, like, first of all, we have to make sure that this is somebody that I want to spend time with, that I acknowledge that, okay, this is a person of interest for me. This is somebody who I want to grow with. So if we have distance between us, then we need to map out a plan. How does this distance relationship look? Are we going to do talking, when are we talking during the week? When are we visiting each other? you know, the first times we visit each other, is it like once a month, twice a month, that somebody's coming in, somebody's going out? Like the intentions have to be set for a long distance relationship. Then you have to set intentions for, okay, you're not going to keep it long distance forever. If this is somebody who you're saying that you want to be with. So then you have to map that out. Okay, what does that look like for us growing in the future? So I can do a long distance relationship. I really do feel like I can. I just think that it has to be very mapped out and intentional. And not mapped out where it's like you operating like a freaking robot, because then that's not sexy. No. But where, you know, where it has to be structured, because it's long distance. You can't just be spontaneous and say, oh, I'm gonna pop up, because you got distance between you know, yourself.
I hear you have to have a plan.
Yeah, so, you know, and what's long distance? Like, you know, some people say if you live in another borough, if you live in another state, like what is long distance to you ladies?
I think another state for me, that's long distance. Another country would be long distance.
Another country is serious.
But not another borough. Hey, I get on the train. I take a cab. I drive. Another borough. Hey, that's right there.
Right. Some people can't even handle that. Like, some people need you to be.
No, I'm joking.
I was gonna say no, she didn't. Really?
It's true, because some people, like, they really like their person to be around them, like, all the time.
We've talked about this, and yes, I like my person to be around me all the time, but I also like that space. And Mimi and I have agreed on this. I know Gigi is out of the box on that one, but Mimi and I have agreed that, you know, we could see them probably like 3 days out of the week, and then not see them for 3 days, and, you know, so we can be sporadic about when we see our partner. And Gigi says no, she needs to.
But you need to be everybody, the conversation and the transparency needs to be very clear. Like, you can't have plans and then not keep your word on what you're supposed to do when you're having a long distance relationship.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If we made plans, or you said we're going to go to dinner, or if I'm coming to you, and that's just some emergency or something, you can't just be like, oh, you know, I'm tired, I don't feel like coming. It's like, you know, the anticipation of seeing this person after 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever it is, you know, you like, and now you just calling like, oh, I can't make it. Like, that's not going to work.
No, exactly.
So you got to stick to the plans. But I think that long distance relationships can work if two people are on the same page and you guys are checking all the boxes, the same boxes. If not, then, you know, we too grown for that now. It's like, if we're not on the same page with that, then just like, you know, okay, it was nice, but this is not going to work for me.
Yeah, I agree with that. We're being on the same page, being honest. And I was.
You sound real low, sis.
Oh, being on the same page and being honest is what you were stating, and I agree with that. And you guys have to have like some goals. You got to have things that's in common. I think you mentioned that it works. I'm not sure if you mentioned if it works if you've already been in it for a minute, right? I was looking, and statistics are pretty high if you're just kind of beginning. You have to have already that foundation that you ladies were stating in order for it to work. Okay, I'm moving out here for the good of our relationship, because we are going to move forward. We're going to be married or whatever, moving out here for a business venture. Then that's, you know, that's okay, because I know you're doing that for our future. We're going to make it happen. But you have to have that goal, that same common thread, whether it's watching the same show so you have something to talk about. You can't talk too much, right? You can't have that excessive communication, because then it's like, yo, kind of like stalking me.
You get tired. You get tired.
Exactly. And then at the same time, you do have to have you got to speak regularly. Can't say that word, that's the Spanish accent. The R's and the Y, R and the Y.
That's right.
Speak on a regular basis.
Right.
Because you have to stay in each other's face a little bit. And thank God for FaceTime and Zooming, that you can do movies together, game night together. Right. There's like a lot of things that you can do. So it could.
There's so many things you can do when not being right in the person's face. Is it the same? Of course not. You know, that intimacy of being able to physically touch the person and do all that kind of stuff. But I think we can't have unspoken expectations. Like you have to let it be known what your expectations are in the relationship, especially now. For me, I know for sure I'm not playing no games. Like I'm not going to be get in a relationship with somebody or start dating somebody and be like, oh, I'm ready to get married next month. They'll be like this. Pew. No, I don't mean that. I mean letting them know that, you know, you're dating for a purpose. You're not just dating just to be out here willy-nilly and just to be dating guys. No, I've been there, done that. I'm too old for that. I'm dating somebody because I have a purpose. I have intentions on that. I want this to be my person. And if it's not, then I'm going to move on. But I think we really have to set expectations. And I don't think we do that often enough. We just, you know, fly by, you know, just try to let things fly by the wayside. No, you can't do that. Like, what are we doing? There needs to be structure. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not making it seem like it's robotic or it's not, you know, just a flow. It is. It's like you being realistic. Like, okay, what are we doing here? You need to know, because sometimes you're just going on with something. And it's like, you're going to try to make it work. I'm not trying to make nothing work at this age.
No, it
has
to work.
I think a lot of women feel that if they set those expectations, or they set those expectations, or they give those expectations to this man, that may push them away. But for me, I think that you have to know who you're getting into a relationship with from the beginning, so that you know that you are able to set these goals and these expectations. And like you said, Mimi, do I want to spend time with this guy? Do I want to have a future with this guy? Like, you have to know those things before you decide, I'm going to go into this long distance relationship.
Right.
And you know what? He is just dating, where you have this end goal that you're trying to meet. You know, probably eventually you want marriage, and maybe his mind is not there. You know, so like you said, you have to set these intentions. You have to be intentional, first of all, and then you have to discuss these goals and make sure that, like you said, Gigi, you have a common ground. You know, that you're both on the same page. When you also mentioned about like YouTube and watching movies, I think we also need to make the date nights very creative, so that it keeps it interesting. And for me, because I've been cheated on so many times, he doesn't stray away. You know, so whether it's, you know, you put on something sexy and you give him a little fashion show or something like that. I don't know, or you guys just play like some games like Gigi said, but be creative, not just regular games. Make it interesting, make it special for him.
Spicy games, you know?
Yes, spicy games, exactly. So that he's not out there thinking about, you know, his coworker that sits in the next cubicle next to him, you know? So yeah, you got to be creative with it.
You really do.
I'm sorry, Gigi. I think it's all about, too, because you mentioned, you know, that some guys, they'll feel like, oh, they'll feel bombarded by you telling them that, or the women feel like he's running away. A grown man wants to have this conversation.
A man,
we both don't want to waste each other's time here. Like, he wants to know what my intentions are, and I want to know what his intentions are. Like, you 45, 50 years old, it's like, we are not here in each other's face just to be wasting time. What are we doing? You know what I mean? So
a lot of men out here, 45 and 50, they still try to play the game.
That's true, but and then that's what I'm saying. That's, you got to weed those people out.
That's why.
And it's all about the delivery. You know, you just don't come to somebody and be like, oh, you know, I want to be married in 6 months. They're looking at you like, girl, but this is our second date. You
squeeze that in on the third day. No, I'm joking.
But you do it. I mean, you do allow somebody to know those things sooner than later. So because if somebody does not want to be married, what are you wasting your time if your end goal is to be married?
I agree with you.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
And you know what? I think another key thing is for both parties to be secure in themselves. Because being in a long distance relationship takes a lot of security in who you are, because you can let your imagination and your mind wander like, oh, what they doing tonight? Oh, they didn't answer the phone when I called them. Like, chill out. They might have been doing something or whatever, but you just need to be really secure in who you are as a person too. And
You do know that when you're dating someone who's in your city, when you are initially dating, unless you move in with each other, you're not going to see them. You may not see them every day. You know what I mean? And so you still have to build, you mentioned those insecurities with being away. You still have to be secure in your relationship, even if they're in the same borough as you. Because again,
Right.
you're dating, your chances are you're not going to see each other every single day, right? So you still have to be secure in who you are and in what you want, and be secure that you found that person.
Right.
You got to take that kind of that leap of faith when you're dating, honestly.
I
You go
agree.
crazy if you constantly thinking, oh my God, is he cheating? If he's further away, oh my God, is he cheating? That's too much.
I don't.
I
You
agree
know,
with
you gotta
that.
have things that you into. Like, if you have things going on in your life, you're not sitting around in your head conjuring up stories or thinking about, oh, what is this person doing? You busy out doing you, and make it, and not in the negative way, or like I don't give a shit about that. Like, you doing things for your life, so it's really all your energy. You're not thinking about what this person is doing 24/7. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
I agree with that. And yeah, I definitely second that. We have to be secure in who we are as women. We have to be secure in what we bring to the table. We have to be secure in what we bring to the relationship, and how we add to his life. You know, once we know all of the things that we add to his life and how we feel about ourselves and how positive and secure we are within ourselves, I think the next step is also making sure that he makes you feel secure about who you are in
right.
his life. And we also have to do the same. Make him feel secure about who he is in our life, because if we don't make them feel secure and they don't make us feel secure, we always going to stay with that little question in the back of our mind, like, what's going on.
Right.
I,
Like
I,
you,
I think that we have to not only love ourselves and be secure in who we are, but also make sure that we show them they can be secure in the relationship, because it is what it is. I'm sorry.
I agree, because when you go out with somebody,
I'm sorry, ladies.
it's okay. Oh
Oh,
my God, Charlie!
I'm sorry. He just got home.
It's okay. He wanted some camera time. It's okay.
Oh, how embarrassing. Jesus.
It's okay. This is the real life going on here. Yeah, what I was gonna say, I was just agreeing with what you were saying. Like, when you go out with somebody, you want to feel secure when you're going out with them, that their head is not on a tilt all night. Like, even if it's beautiful women there, it's like you feel secure in knowing that they're there with you, and you're not worrying about them being all over the place.
Yeah.
Even if it's other beautiful women there, because more than likely there are going to be. Of course, we're not going to be the only. You know what I mean? So you just gotta be. You want somebody that makes you feel confident about being with them. Like, you don't have to worry about that. Like, so.
and that feels like you're the most beautiful person.
You the focus of when he's out. Like, you are his focus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I had a point that I wanted to make. Oh, you said something about Dag. I can't remember. Sorry. Huh?
Who said it?
Huh?
I said it, or Love Guru said it?
Jackie said it, but I don't remember now what it was. Oh, what you bring to the relationship. Now, what you bring to the relationship, you have to make sure that that's what he wants.
Yeah, absolutely.
What you bringing, is that what he wants? Because if it's not what he wants, then
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, and maybe that's not the person for you. Like, we always say, I know what I bring to the relationship. I know but what you bring, is that what your partner needs, or is that what they want?
Yeah.
Yes. So that may not be the person for you. And for me, I don't have time now to waste a lot of time saying, when you are compatible with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You can know from phone conversations, like, okay, just from phone conversations, you know if you want to go out on a date with somebody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay,
You know, there's a connection.
yeah. Do I want to ask this person out on a date because from just having a good conversation with them on the phone? Like when you get in person, it can be a little awkward. But you know, because you're right there in each other's face now. It's like it's different from the phone. You could kind of do a few masks when you're on the phone, but when you're in somebody's face, you can see all their movements, if they're uncomfortable, and you know what I mean?
Expressions, yes.
Yeah.
But that's why I love being face to face.
Me too.
Over the phone.
Mm.
I'm not a phone person. I really don't like to talk over the phone. I'd rather do it in person because I get the real you, you know? I get to see a glimpse of the real you. I get to see a face expression when I ask a question.
Yeah.
You know, your face expression when you're responding to a question.
Right.
So I think I like the face-to-face meetings versus the phone conversations for me.
I think I have like ADHD right now in my head. The only thing I'm thinking about is Bobby, Bobby.
You stupid. Because you sweaty. Oh God, you are so stupid. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh Lord, it's the wine, y'all, in the heat.
It's okay. It's hot, y'all. Everybody knows that. It's like a heat wave today.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah, but
it's really
I don't know. You know what? I like to do the silly text messages and
I love those.
You know, and the voice messages and all that. But I definitely love those moments. You have to have those moments when you're in each other's space. Because you need to know how they maneuver around you in person.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they could be a good actor through text messages. It's like,
anybody could be great at text messaging.
Exactly.
But can he have a real conversation in front of you?
Right.
Is it a conversation of substance? It's not just texting now. Now we're sitting in each other's faces, and now can you have a fulfilling conversation with this person? It's not just surface.
Exactly.
Right.
It's just surface. You got to go somewhere with that. I don't have time for that.
And that's what I mean about the long distance relationships. If you guys can't have concrete conversations,
right?
Long distance relationship is based on.
It's built on that, right?
Exactly. And so that should already be like a ding ding. This is not going to work. Yeah. We can't converse, and we're not in each other's space. Mm-hmm. So long distance relationships that won't really work if you're a newbie at it. A couple of years in, it might work. Newbie,
where's the starting point at for it? You know what I mean? It gotta be at some point you're gonna be a newbie, because it's like, if it's a starting point, like me, I'm single. So if I meet somebody now, it's gonna be a new experience, because I'm just starting out. So where do you start at with the long? I can't say I'm gonna wait for 2 years to start saying I'm gonna have a long distance relationship with this person.
No, just for me, I would think. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Gigi.
No, go ahead, Jackie. Go.
No, I said for me, I would when we are discussing long distance conversation, I'm thinking, this is what my thought process, that we have met here. We've had a relationship. Yeah. We had a relationship. We've created the foundation already. Not that I've gone to Brazil on vacation. I met this guy and I married him, and now we have a long distance relationship. I don't think I could ever start a relationship already long distance. No. Yeah. I think that I would already have had to been dating him, and now we have these goals that we set, and you know what, he's been looking for a job, well, I'm looking for a job, he got an offer in Atlanta, and that's for us, you know, that's right, you know. So then in that sense, I could probably do a long distance relationship for 6 months with the back and forth once every month or whatever. But I don't think I could, like I said, go to Brazil, meet this guy, and no, I don't think I could do that. Where's the foundation in that?
Well, I definitely wouldn't want to meet somebody from when I went over to Brazil, because you know there's a lot of shadiness going over there. But I didn't mean like that type of long distance. I meant like, okay, just say I meet somebody now. I go out, I meet somebody, and they live in Philly. I go out, you know, I went somewhere and they live in Philly now, and I'm talking to them all on the phone all the time, and the conversation is so dope. The energy is crazy, and I'm like, okay, we want to see where this is going from. I'll take a chance on it because of that. And that for me would be a long distance relationship.
I
It's
don't
long
think Philly is
distance,
long.
but you can see each other once a month if you wanted
For
to.
sure. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would do that. If that's the case, if that's what you mean, then definitely. If he lived in Philadelphia, yep, absolutely. Atlantic City, absolutely. Far in Jersey, absolutely. That for me is not really that long distance. In my mind, like I said, like Brazil, like shit like that. Like, no, that's a no. I can't do that.
That's
Right.
too far. That is too far.
You know what else has to happen too? Sometimes we allow allow too many outside voices like to come into our relationship. Like how you deal in your relationship is how, you know, and what boxes check off for you and your person. They check off for you. They may not be the same thing. Like you have friends and sometimes they tell you, I wouldn't deal with that. It's like, girl, you don't have to deal with it. I'm dealing with it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? This is not for you in your relationship, or how, you know, some things that people can put up with, you can't put up with. So, you know, everything you have to make sure that you, especially with social media, because everybody's relationship is thebomb.com on social media.
Oh,
And
yeah.
behind closed doors, they are whackety whack.
Hello.
I don't listen to anyone's advice. I just don't. No one is living my life. No one is living my relationship. No one is living behind closed doors with that person. So, you know, and you get to see only what I share. You get to know only what I share. You don't get to know every part of my relationship. So I don't. Maybe before past years, I probably would have acted on something my friend would have said, oh girl, you need to leave him. And I probably would have thought about it, you know. But these days, I don't listen to anyone but myself, my heart, and God. That's it. And I pray that, you know, I'm being obedient to what I hear from him, you know. But if I'm not, I'm sure God will show me.
Sure will.
He definitely will. It's not for you. But yeah, I don't listen to the outside voices anymore. And definitely, I agree with you, Mimi. Social media is the worst, honey.
I'm telling you, you get influenced. If people, and you don't even, this is why I don't watch a lot of TV, because subconsciously, sometimes you get information gets plugged into your psyche without you even knowing, because you're constantly on social media. You're constantly watching TV, and those images, they downloaded into your head. You understand what I'm saying? So you don't even, you say, no, I'm not kidding. You are being influenced, because those things are all around. You see everybody smiling and doing this. Everybody got, you know, they going away to doing this, they doing that. And you think that you have to do those things. Exactly. If that doesn't work for your relationship, if that's not what you guys do, don't feel that you have to try to keep up with everybody that's doing those things. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so much. And I think we need to lead also more with intangibles. And what I mean by that is, like, God's always saying, because I'm going to go way on them both. God's always saying that, she's a gold digger. But when you online or when you on social media, all you doing is flexing and showing that you got money and showing that you wearing this watch and you got this car and all that. So you are leading with material things. So that's what a person is going to approach you with. And that's what women. If we say, we don't want to be seen as sexual objects. Now listen, I'm not saying for you. I'm not saying for you to be sexy, because I mean, look at all us now. We got our shoulders out. We got showing cleavage. Be sexy, but don't lead. If you leading with sex appeal all the time, then what the hell else? Your ass is showing all the time. Your breasts are showing all the time. You got your ass and your legs out all the time, and you saying, "Oh, he's looking at me like I'm a sex object."
Well, that's what you're
portraying.
That's what you leading with. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, let the person know what you want, what your standard is from the beginning, and then they're going to treat you as such.
Exactly. Yeah. I agree. You got to let the person get to know who you are.
Right.
Completely, not to fake you, because that's what people tend to do. They put up this whole facade when they're first dating, and then when you really get to know them, a couple of years later, or 2 years, or a year in, you're like, yo, you're not the person. You
No,
know, so you
she's
have to be
sitting in the bed with her Rolos, her
honest.
bonnet,
She take her hair off, she put
her
it there, take
lashes,
her
her
eyelashes
lashes
off.
off.
That's why this go around, I'm trying to be, I want to be intentionally appealing all the time. I don't want to be complacent. I don't want to be complacent.
You
Always
not wearing your bonnet on the first date.
no.
You know what? I just want to be honest. You know what I'm saying?
I want to be honest. I might do a sexy bonnet, a satin one, or something with some satin drawers.
Listen,
Makes her sexy.
listen. I just wanted to be real transparent. Like from the beginning, like, listen, dude, like, this is who I am. Like, I'm not trying to put up.
But it's for me, I love to look sexy for my man all the time.
Right.
Even if we've been dating for 3 years, like every time that I go out or every time that I'm going to see him or he's coming to see, I want to look presentable. I want to look beautiful for him. Like, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Like that shows that you are interested in your partner, that you care about what he thinks and what he sees, you know, and not just the inside, but also the outside. The outside is very important. Yes, we have to love ourselves inside, and I'm not saying that you have to always dress for him. You dress for yourself, but why not dress for him?
Why not? Be sexy and
disclaimer. I love dressing for my man. I love to see, because you can see the reaction in their eye when they
like, damn.
Right, when you look a certain way. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when we meet somebody and that's all we have to offer. We just lead them with ass and titties and this and, you know, all the time. It's like, that's what they met you as, you know, that's what you always showing. You don't give it nothing else. You always on social media with every body part out. Like, it's like, what else do you have to offer? Like, going out with my man, I'm going to look good all the time. Every time I go out with him.
That's right.
Every time.
That's why
his head ain't going to be on the tilt. He's going to be right here.
That's why it's important to again, I always revert back to this. You have to build that friendship. You guys have to be friends. And because when you start off as friends, I don't know, you kind of like, you're so comfortable with one another. It's kind of organic just to be yourself.
Yeah.
But when you jump into it as a relationship, I don't know, you don't really get to know each other, because let's face it, when you jump into it as with the intention of dating, how much of you are you really disclosing? Are you going to be as organic as you would be with a friend?
No, because you want him to like you. So you're not going to be organic. It's not going to be organic. You're not building that friendship. You're building a relationship. You're going straight into the relationship with skipping over that friendship foundation. So I totally agree with you. I think, you know, you definitely need to get along as friends first. And then if that relationship is meant to be, it's just going to flow so easy. And it, you know, it'll blossom into something beautiful.
Right.
But, you know, that's why I think also, when talking about this long distance thing, if we don't have that foundation from jump, I don't think it will ever work.
It won't work. It's the same thing as being here with your partner in the same state or close to you or whatever.
Right.
Without that foundation, it's like you're building on quicksand. You're going to fall right through. It's not going to last.
Right.
It's not going to.
You're going to be infatuated. It's going to be a lust relationship. And when that fizzles out, what do you have left? Nothing.
And I think that's where the arguments and the things start becoming a little bit more a part of your relationship, because now they're getting to see who you really are, as opposed to, this is who I am, take me or leave me, you know? And then you kind of in it and you don't leave, you know?
Yeah, that's great. I know this is going to sound crazy. I don't know if it's going to sound crazy, but I think that, you know, it's cliche, but experience is definitely a good teacher.
Oh, yes.
And I am so excited about dating, I don't even want to say dating, because I'm not trying to really date. Like, I will date somebody, but I'm not trying to, I'm talking about multiple people. I'm not really in that right now. I mean, if you know, if that is what you're doing to weigh out who you really want to be with, that's fine. I get it. But I'm just excited about dating right now, for lack of a better word, because I'm so comfortable with who I am as a person. I'm moving with such a purpose of like, I'm not even going to waste time and be like, oh, trying to see, well, maybe, I can do this and maybe he'll change. And no,
you're being intentional. Absolutely. And that's the
yeah. And I'm comfortable with that. Like before I would feel like, oh, maybe I'm hurting somebody's feelings by saying this or saying that. It's like, no, it's like, let the person know straight up, like, oh, thank you for a good time, but I think we'd be better as friends, or it's not for me. Like, I don't have time for that.
Yeah. Nope.
But I wouldn't have been able to do that and be that secure as in my womanhood years ago. Like, I would have been like, oh, let me see if this will change, or let me see if this will work. No, not now.
When we're not ready and we're not secure in what we want in a relationship, we make excuses. Right. We tend to accept whatever it is that they're willing to dish out, because we want to date or because we want to have a boyfriend. But when we know what we want and we are ready for what we want, we definitely are not going to take just whatever they dish out. No, it's either you're going to give me what I'm looking for, or I'm sorry. We can be acquaintances because I don't want to even be your friend.
Right. Oh, vice versa. I'm not just talking about, right, for women, like men too. Like,
absolutely.
Don't string a person along. If you know that by the third day, I'm saying for me, I think by the third day, if this person is somebody who you want to really invest time in.
Because I agree with you, because you've been talking and building. Right. Mm-hmm.
Especially in the third date, I mean, in those in-person dates, I think by the third date, you should know, okay, this is not, it's still kind of awkward, and, it's still like, thank you, but no thank you.
But then you'll know how they eat, then their manners,
right.
Gentlemen, do they open the door for you? Do they pull out your chairs for you? Do they, their swag, was it the swag for one day? Is the swag for the second and the third day? Like,
that's so funny you say that, because I'm all about a vibe.
Hello.
And it's like the walk, the confidence that he just exudes when he's in a room. Like, I don't like a man to diminish when he's in a room. No. Like, I like to stand strong in a room and comfortable.
Exactly. And that's a man versus a male. Hey, DeAndre.
Right, it's the truth. Like, I mean, that's for me. And what that swag or what that that looks like is different for me than it is for you ladies. You know what I mean? So that's why I was saying too. You can't go on with other people, because somebody may think that this nigga is goofy, and I'm thinking he's the bee's knees, and they're like, he's so goofy. I'm like, but I love him.
But that's what makes it different when you are of a certain age.
Right.
Younger, you're like, ooh, my friends ain't gonna think you cute. Ooh, my friends are gonna. But when you reach a certain age, your friends don't matter. Yep. It's about what you think, how they make you feel.
Right.
They might be the ugliest person alive to everybody else. But if you find them sexy, that's all that matters, because you're the one that has to wake up next to them every day.
Right. I agree.
Like, we can't. A whole different space in my life right now. It's like, I don't even care. It's all about me. It's all about me.
Right. Like, of course, you want your family and friends to get along with your person and to like them and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But it's like,
sure.
I think he's everything. You know what I mean? Like, and you don't. Sorry.
He's not that cute. He's fine to me.
and what's cute when you need somebody by your side to take care of you when you're not feeling sick, when you feel sick? What's cute when you need somebody and you just lost your job and they like, oh, I got you. What's cute then? You don't need cuteness. I need a man.
I need a man. You are not.
Yeah. And vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Like, so no, I'm not really worried about cuteness now. Okay. We do not want him to be looking like I gotta put a paper bag over his head.
You still gotta look at him. I still gotta look at him. So you gotta have something cute.
Right. But I'm all about a vibe. Like a guy with a good vibe is just like, oh, that's so sexy to me.
That's so sexy.
Ooh-wee.
That's sexy too. And that vibe would exude all the way to Brazil, honey. If you lived in Brazil,
Right.
feel the vibe coming through the wires, honey.
Right. He could just have on a sweatsuit and looking like, oh,
And
yeah.
yes, because of their vibe, their energy.
The energy.
So,
I'm so big on energy now that it's like if that doesn't match up, I'm just going quickly, and not going quickly in a bad way. Like I'm not even wasting time here. Our energy do not match. I'm out.
hello.
Yeah.
Friends, we could do coffee.
So, anybody else got anything to say about this?
No.
Nope. I can't do a long distance relationship.
You can.
Already know. I can't even do. I want you to be my neighbor. I don't even want you living in a
We neighbors until we get married.
yes. Some shit, you know?
No, I could do a long distance relationship. I just think that it has to be thought out, and I think that there has to be a plan. Like, what's the end point of this relationship? What are we trying to move to? Because we're not going to be long distance for. If we say you my forever person, we're not going to be long distance for forever. So, what are we trying to get to? What point are we trying to get to?
I definitely agree with you on that, 100%. If you already have this foundation and you've been dating for a few years, and we're people of a certain age, maybe a nice retirement job is somewhere in a different area. I can do the long distance if that's the case. But if we're just dating and we're new,
and listen, what's up with getting on a plane every other week?
Like I said,
and going to visit the person
at least once a month.
Right.
You could do that. I definitely.
And that's sexy, child. Just getting up and going and meeting up, you know.
Honey, yes.
So you two are named to the long distance, and I'm like, okay, I'm with it. For a moment.
I could for a moment. If it's solidifying our future, and we already have years invested, yeah. And
if I'm still getting to know you in the scenario that I picked, yeah, I'm comfortable with a long distance relationship.
I'm with Gigi. If we have a plan, if we have a goal, and this happens to, work for our goal, to reach our goal, absolutely, I can do it.
Yes.
But it has to be beneficial to both of us, not just to one of us, because that's a dream job, and you want to move to South Africa. No, we're not doing that.
Oh, damn.
Because I'm not moving to South Africa. I really not. So, but if it's something, if it's gonna be beneficial to our future goals, absolutely, I will support him, because we also have to think of that. We have to be supportive of our partner. And if it's something that is going to be beneficial to the relationship or to your future goals, by all means, we should stand by them, because we would like it reciprocated if we found a job somewhere and you would want him to support you as well. So we have to think about it. We have to be person.
You're gonna rock with it anyway. I know I say I don't, you say you don't, but if it's our person, and it's a
partnership. You have to, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. You can't be selfish. It's a partnership. If it benefits both of you, whatever partner it is, they're gonna understand that this is for our future, and they're gonna rock with you. I don't have any doubt in that. What's up to our South African viewers? Hey.
Listen, I'm
Brazil.
That's probably a whole nother conversation. Well, I guess we won't even have to have that conversation, because we know we're not dating somebody outside of the country. But would you move with somebody to outside of the country? I would have to say, if I knew for sure that it was my person, I would do it.
If my kid is grown and ready to do their own thing,
yeah.
Now my daughter is about to have a baby. Now I gotta put you on. Oh, sweetie, 1 second. I need to go over there and be with my child.
Please. Here.
Right. I need to go over there and be with my child for a second. So, yeah.
That's funny.
But I love this conversation. This was a good one.
Yeah,
yes, it was.
Yes, and don't forget, people, 2PRBG. You can find us with that acronym on YouTube. and on Instagram, and we're on Buzzsprout, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.
Yeah, we trying to grow. Come on now. You know it. Yes. So until the next time on what?
To Puerto Ricans and
Black girl.
the Black girl.